That was a sad clap. So about 8 years ago, my mom took me to Washington, D.C. for my 8th grade trip. I was homeschooled. And while I was there, I decided I thought it would be cool to try daily vlogging. So what I thought I'd do in this video is I'm going to go back, look at some of the old videos I made from then, and then some videos I made when we went to Alaska about a year later. And I think it would be cool to watch those and then try to make a daily vlog now, knowing what I know now and having better gear, more experience and everything, and to see how much I can improve upon it. But at the same time, I want to keep some aspects kind of similar. So when we went to DC, I had just gotten an iPad. It was the original iPad Air. It had 16 gigs of space on it. This is just like the cheapest one they had. And I filmed and edited 3 daily vlogs while we were there. So, you know, I was walking around talking to an iPad in Washington, DC. I actually ran out of space on it a lot, and I would have to edit the video and then post it and then delete all the clips so that I have room to take videos the next day. I think the one I'm going to start with is day 5. That's probably the longest one, the most interesting one. The first one was more like a slideshow, and the second one wasn't very long at all. If you look here, you can see that I only uploaded it at 480 quality. We hadn't even gotten to HD.
Morning, guys. We're at the Smithsonian Zoo right now. I think we're gonna go out and see the animals. I'll take some videos there. I'll probably talk on more than I did yesterday, like I said I was gonna do. So, hope you guys are having a good morning.
So, for context, at the time I watched a lot of Jesse and Gina. They were like the main daily vloggers I watched. I think they were the only daily vloggers I watched. 8th grade me thought they were so cool, and I was trying to act like Jesse. And if you have watched videos that they made back in like 2014, you might be able to see like, oh, this is a sad attempt at trying to do that. I like how in the corner you can see that I didn't pull my iPad case all the way off, and it's like covering the corner of the video. Right there. I also cut all of these shots way too short, and this is a problem I still have today, where when I take a clip, I never take it long enough, and I end up wanting to stretch it out longer than what I have. And a trick I found to help with that is whenever I take a shot, when I think I'm done with it, record an extra 5 seconds before I stop it. No fade out on the music, they're just hard cut. Music just cuts out completely and there's a fade transition on the video.
I hope you guys enjoyed that little montage of all the animals and stuff. I thought some of them were pretty funny.
This physically hurts me to watch. Also, I clearly didn't know how to change the volume on video clips because my voice is like 1/3 as loud as the music is.
And now we're gonna go a couple other places and I'll see what happens there. See you then.
So there's a thing people would do, and they still do it, I'm sure. I don't really watch daily vloggers anymore. But where they would put their hand over the camera like this, and then they'd take it away and they would have cut to a new scene. The seamless transition of daily vlogging. And I did the first half of that where I put my hand over it, but then my next clip didn't have the hand removed and I just cut straight into another clip. Can also tell that even 8 years ago I did quite like trains, and they were very prominent in all of these videos. And luckily tomorrow when I do my 8 years of improvement video, I'm taking a day trip from Montreal to Quebec City, and I will be on a train, so I will get to include trains in the video. I thought I was so artsy with that shot. I'm pretty sure I put that shot in there twice.
Guys, so we went over to the White House and the monument, the Washington Monument, which you can see behind me there. Hope the sun will focus on it, because it's...
Did I just say I hope the sun will focus on it? 8th grade me was really doing something else.
pretty bright over there.
Yeah, it is pretty bright over there.
I think I'm going to go back to the hotel room. But yeah, one big look at the monument over there. I don't even know if I'm pointing at it. There we go. very tall, as you can see.
Yeah, you're right, little Patrick. It's pretty tall.
In the montage that I usually make. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. It's so fun.
What is this shot? God has taken up residence on my forehead here. Alright, here's another thing I wanted to point out. And this isn't really related to filmmaking. If you look in the reflection in the window here, you can see that I'm wearing a pair of Crocs. The thing is, those were the only shoes I took. And I went around the capital of our nation. I went in the Capitol building itself. I went to national museums, monuments, wearing a pair of Crocs. This is why you don't homeschool your children. They think shit like this is okay. And they're really great.
Guys, this is the last full day of our trip in Washington.
I messed up my sentence after I started saying it, but then I just left it in, even though I resaid the sentence. It's good work. It's good work, little me. This was also a thing that I would, whenever I talked, I was super awkward talking to an iPad, so I would wait till my mom was like in the bathroom or something. And unfortunately, tomorrow I am going to be by myself, so I can't have it be a thing where I only talk to the camera while whoever I'm with is in the bathroom.
So I will see you later.
And that was the last we saw of me because I didn't post for like another year after that. Now we're gonna move on to about a year later. We took a family trip to Alaska. When we went to Alaska, I had a point and shoot camera and a really old GoPro. So it was better equipment than the iPad. I was editing on Windows Movie Maker. I edited all these like when we got home afterwards. I didn't do it while we were there because I didn't have a laptop or anything. So all my Alaska videos, I had it broken up pretty much just one per day, but they were all really short and half of them I didn't talk, and there's not really a defined story or anything in these. It's kind of just music and video clips in chronological order. If you look here, I also uploaded it in HD quality, which is ironic because the camera I was shooting these on did not shoot in 1080p. I think it shot 720. Got that Windows Movie Maker text on here. First observation here, I've learned how to edit to music. That's a good thing. I'm pretty sure the rest of the video is just footage out the plane window. I don't think anything really happens, but that's the first of those. You can see this is still sort of the Jesse and Gina inspired era. A lot of the time they would have a time lapse at the beginning of their vlog, and they'd have either their name or like where they were or something like that on the screen.
We're at my cousin's house now.
I got a haircut. Another thing I'd like to point out is I would do time lapses, but I would only set the camera up for like 10 minutes, so nothing would happen in the time lapse. Like when you set up a time lapse, you have to have like the light change, or you have to see the clouds move. There has to be a lot of movement in it for it to really be interesting. Okay, see, this is something that works as a hyperlapse, except for the part where my fingers keep coming in the corner. But like there's movement. It's shaky. It could definitely be better, but this is like there is an idea here. This has potential. Something you might notice in this is that the video looks kind of choppy, and the reason for that is the camera I was using shot at 25 frames per second, and my timeline was a 30 frames per second timeline. So the video constantly has frames that are getting doubled, and it makes the video look kind of choppy. I also just noticed that I have learned to adjust the volume of different clips because I haven't been having to change the volume of the video when it goes from music to me talking.
And I mean, look at the view from this.
Look at the view. Holds up the camera. It's completely blown out and you can't see the view. Oh, I have a lot to say about this too. I set a time lapse on a rock and it was wobbling and shaking, and it's just, you can't do that. You can't do that. Then there's the fingers in the corner. There's a finger in the corner. See what day 3 has. All right, that's off to a good start. I mean, if we're gonna be honest, there probably wasn't audio files anyway. I doubt I talked to a camera at all. Okay, we have movement. There's a boat moving. This time-lapse has more potential than some of the other ones. Yeah, no story, no explanation of what's going on there, just an explanation that I wasn't going to explain what was going on. Yeah, the video wasn't very strong. I do think it would be fun to go back to Alaska and, like, go to all these spots. I'm editing to the music again! We're halfway through the video and we've only had establishing shot time lapses. How hard would it have been for freshman year me to just walk outside onto the deck? I know people were allowed out there. And just get all of these shots but without the reflections.
I did not take a video explaining what we did earlier.
You haven't taken a video explaining what went on for the past whole week. But please explain.
To a sort of like aquarium. That's what you're going to be seeing for the next minute or...
Oh. So we don't get an explanation of what that last bit was. We went to a park with a glacier in Alaska. This is pretty cool. I was really obsessed with time lapses in places that didn't need time lapses. I do love shots into aquariums when they have like the windows where you can see underwater. I was at the Biodome here in Montreal and they have a section like that and I got a pretty cool shot. Maybe I'll insert it right here if I feel like it. Oh, there's a cruise ship. Here's another thing I would do. I didn't think through where I would sit the camera very much, so I'd sit it somewhere right here where people would like walk in front of it and I mean, just go clip it onto the rail up there and it's gonna be such a better shot.
The day is over. This is going to be the end of today's vlog.
I kind of want to end the improvement video like that, just like, it's over. It's another one of those time lapses I would do where nothing happens.
So today...
It's another one of those hard cuts I would do between music and video clips and it just jolts you. It hurts to watch it. I wanted to say it got slightly brighter in that last time lapse, but that may have just been my imagination. Okay, I do actually remember this. I was like walking down the stairs of the hotel and I was talking about that. I don't remember what I said, but I apparently zoomed the camera into like 500% and it was just like showing the inside of my nostril the whole time. This was around the time when I started watching Casey Neistat, so there's some inspiration from him here too. I think that's why I had all the time lapses, because he would always have time lapses and establishing shots in his videos. And he actually knew how to use them to make them work. This was the thing. Every time he would travel somewhere, he would always have the shot where he grabs his luggage. So that is a Casey Neistat inspiration there. So yeah, that's what I was making 8 years ago. Tomorrow I'll see what I can improve upon. I do want to use the music from the same people I used back then, just because I think it'd be a fun little nod to it. So hopefully the next clip you see will be the improved travel video that I make tomorrow.
Future Patrick here to say that if you're a subscriber, you may have already seen this video because it's the one I posted last week, but feel free to watch it again.
Good morning, sir. So I just accidentally formatted my SD card and lost a bunch of pictures I took last night. So this morning's already off to a great start. But I'm on my way right now to get a bike so that I can go to the train station. Because my train leaves before... Well, my train leaves too early for me to take the metro to go get it.
Both the roads I wanted to go on were closed, but I finally dropped off the bike and now it's just a short walk to the train station.
There is something kind of peaceful about a city in the morning before it really wakes up. There we go. Got a single seat, don't have to share the row with anybody. So brief train review. It was kind of old, but it was really comfortable. So give it a thumbs up. I don't really have a big plan on what I'm gonna do. I'm just kind of gonna walk around and see whatever catches my eye, whatever looks interesting. I just want to see as much of the city as I can in the next 6 or 7 hours that I have here. I'm currently walking along the top of the wall that surrounds Quebec City. Quebec City is actually, I believe it's the only city in North America that's walled in. A lot of people say this is the most European city in North America. And as someone who hasn't traveled to Europe before, I do have to say I imagine this is what it's like. I gotta go find out what this is. Every street here is just so charming. So this massive building here is known as the Chateau Frontenac. I probably pronounced that awfully, but it's a heritage hotel here. It was actually originally built by the Canadian Pacific Railway Company. And this way, if I recall correctly, is a fort of some sort. I swear half this video is just going to be me looking at this city and being like, oh, that's pretty. I discovered a problem. I want to get over there in the actual fort, but there's a big gap between the hill I walked up and where the fort is. You know, let me go back to that thing I do where I show you a view of the city and say, whoa, it's beautiful. But I mean, it is. After I find my way into this fort, if I do at some point manage to find my way into this fort, because I have walked halfway around this damn fort and I cannot find an entrance. But hopefully I get in, and after that I'm going to have to find food because I have been up since 4 and I haven't had anything to eat and I am hungry. I think I may have finally found the way in over here. Now I just have to figure out how to get down to it. There's history. I didn't do a great job of explaining it at the time, but I did go inside and took one of the tours they offered of the Citadel. So I got in, but because it's an active military base, you can only go in with a tour, which makes sense. But now with that done, I'm going to head back down the hill and I have got to find food somewhere. Food has been acquired. So I have decided, in very me fashion, that I'm going to relax and sit under a tree for a bit and watch boats.
Now, I'm not going to do it, but I think someone should try taking a Bixie bike from Montreal and trying to dock it here, just to see what would happen.
Now heading back down the hill to a place called Rue des Petits Champlain. Probably butchered the pronunciation on that too, but it was rated as the most charming street in all of Canada, so, you know, gotta check it out while I'm here.
We have found the spot. I'm now just walking in random shops I find, and I found a shop full of wood sculptures, and this stuff is amazing. It's incredible. Look at the fur detail on this guy. They have a Pinocchio, and he's like almost the size of a child. I do like how you have this nice, beautiful, peaceful street here, and then there's just this right there. If you look up ahead, I found the umbrella road. Literally every street here is just so beautiful and so great. I love how many streets are closed off to cars and it's just pedestrian only. This is just wonderful.
So I just spent about 30 minutes in an art gallery. There was this very nice guy who worked there, and he saw my camera and he was asking about my channel and stuff. So if you're the guy from Beauchamp, I hope I pronounced that right, and you end up seeing this, I just want you to know that talking to you absolutely made my day.
Said I'm gonna walk along the waterfront for the last little bit before I have to go catch the train.
My train leaves in about 45 minutes, so I do have to head to the train station now.
See, now this is how all bike lanes should be. You should have an area for people to walk, and you should have a separate bike lane. There should not be people walking on the bike lane. Montreal, take notes. When you're riding a bike, you don't want to slow down because there's 3 people walking side by side along and talking about who knows what at like 2 miles an hour. You are on a bike, you got places to go. Put the people somewhere else. That's right, I got to ride one of Via Rail's new venture sets back to Montreal, so I get to cut in here and give another train review. At the time they only had 2 of these sets, so it was a pretty cool opportunity for a train nerd such as myself. It had much more modern features than my train in the morning, my favorite of which was the digital display, which gave information about where the next station was, how fast we were going, and any other announcements the crew had. The seats were a bit more firm, but I personally found the sitting position to be more comfortable over long periods of time. The aisles and restrooms were also larger, making the train more accessible. Now back to the rest of the video.
Hello again. I'm going to keep this very short because I am very tired. But I'm back at the apartment now. I ate food. I took a shower. And now I'm going to bed, which honestly I've been looking forward to doing since about 4 o'clock this morning.